The next match was for the NWA Women's Championship, Serena Deeb versus Thunder Rosa. Brian, actually, somehow in the middle of all this, a wrestling match broke out. The cheerleaders left the field, and the athletes took over. I was going to say they started the match with the most convincing collar and elbow lockup of the night, but I think it may have been the only one. Because the rest of these Outlaw Mud Show guy goofs don't know how to start a match. They just start running into the ropes and cartwheeling everywhere. These girls actually had a contest. They locked up. They worked nice mat wrestling. They were serious about it. Went through a break, kicked it up a notch in the final moments. Serena, they actually took an apron bump that wasn't stupid. Serena gave Thunder Rosa the spear on the apron. Serena goes right to the floor of her own volition, and Thunder Rosa takes a nice little flat back bump on the apron safe. Why don't they get these two girls to start teaching the training classes? Because apparently they're the only ones that know what the fuck they're doing. This match didn't get old. You didn't get numb to it. You could follow it. You knew what was happening and why. And it looked like a struggle with each other rather than, the Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys Western swing dancing. Then they had to fuck it up somehow with the booking. They sent Reba ringside, and Britt Baker interfered while the referee and everybody was distracted and grabbed Thunder Rosa and suplexed her, gave her some kind of goddamn deal on the ramp. And then ran off, and she rolls in the ring, and Serena, who didn't know what happened, then powerbombed Thunder Rosa, got a 2 count. So she gets hit by the heel with a move on the ramp, and then powerbombed by Serena, and only gets a 2 count. And then within seconds, Thunder Rosa and Serena are both doing reversals and counters and hitting strikes and etc. They just went back to the match they wanted to have, and I don't actually blame them, because that was such a stupid interference spot. They were having a good match. It didn't need to be there. They forced it in because of the booker being an amateur. They could have done some shit afterwards, which they did, and it would have got there. They, instead of having, after the match, having Thunder Rosa grab Baker and beat the shit out of her, which she did, and blew off any heat that they got with the spot they did that screwed up their match, they could have had Thunder Rosa walking by Britt Baker, and then Britt fucking hammers her and gets some fucking heat, or they could have had a pull apart or whatever. But instead, they put this goddamn thing in because that's going to further the program between the two girls and keep the heat. And then they fucking blow off the heat with Britt Baker afterwards by having Thunder Rosa beat her up anyway. So it was the amateur booker marred the great women's match, but they just went back to their match they were having. Couple of more false finishes and reversals, and Serena hit kind of a Styles Clash kind of thing. Boom, 1, 2, 3. Most professional match, probably of the night. But there you have it. And just overbooking again because they just don't know. They're doing things they've read on the internet rather than things they've actually done and experienced. What'd you think?
I don't think it's just the lack of experience. I think there are probably people in the world who don't have experience booking who could figure out how to do it in a logical way. It was a good match. Can't say anything bad about the match. When Britt Baker showed up at ringside sitting in the seats again.
Well, yeah, then she said an attack and then she's suddenly sitting there.
I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
They just don't think. They do not think. There was a promo with Dork Jobber and Anna Jay. And Dork Jobber yelled his promo at her. And then she, without really looking at him, recited one of her own to the camera. Somebody's a Get Smart fan because she's 99. She's no Barbara Feldon, though, for heaven's sake. How about 69 instead of 99? They should have named her 69. That would have got the AEW heels contention in an uproar. How about they could have called her 68? Give me one and I'll owe you one. That was Nikolai Volkov's favorite joke. He told it in his Russian accent. Did you see that the AEW Heels group got mad at JR because when they did the AEW Heels plug, he said, I wonder if they have bake sales.
Yeah, I did see that. I'll tell you something. He just does not give a fuck anymore.
Well, no, because it's so fucking stupid. AEW Heels for all these women wrestling fans that they've got. But then I feel sorry for JR because he said, somebody blistered him on Twitter. Oh, that's all the women are good for is bake sales. He said, hey, I was making a joke about me being fat. He said it was self-defecating humor. It may have been an autocorrect on the phone, but he got a lot of bad replies off that self-defecating remark. Anyway,